Hi, this is Jessica with Dining Traveler, and welcome to the Dining Traveler cooking series where we cook dishes from our favorite destinations at home, and we continue with our Fritura series. We're making these delicious, indulgent treats that you can find along the beaches in Puerto Rico. And for this episode, we are gonna make rellenos de papa. There are these delicious mashed potato balls filled with savory picadillo and fried. Delicioso. And this episode is brought to you by the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture, which has a great selection of virtual and in-person programming. The link is in the description, so make sure you guys check them out. And now let's get started. Our first step is to cook the potatoes, and I'm gonna cook my potatoes whole and with the peel on as well. Feel like it conserves more of the starch content. Is up to you if you want to peel them ahead of time. So our first step is going to be to add some sea salt to the pan. Then we're going to start preparing the potatoes, and we are going to score them in the middle very lightly and throw them in the pan. So now we are gonna pour water over the potatoes until they're completely covered and boil for around 40 minutes or until the potatoes are soft enough to be pierced through with a fork. While the potatoes are cooking, we're gonna start preparing the picadillo. So we're first gonna heat up a pan with a little bit of olive oil, and we're gonna add some finely chopped onions. We cook the onions until they're soft and a little bit brown. Now we are gonna add the ground meat. We're gonna allow to cook the meat for a few minutes, and what we wanna do is you just use a spatula, break down the ground beef a little bit, because remember, we want as small as piece as possible to fill the relleno. And once it's a bit loosened and cooked, this is when I add the sofrito, spices, and tomato sauce and mix them all together. And as we're mixing it, let's make sure that we're breaking down the meat. So the picadillo is done. It smells delicious. We're gonna set it aside to cool down a bit, and now we're gonna get ready to prepare the potatoes. The potatoes are done, so we are gonna remove them from the hot water, and we're gonna put them in an ice bath so they can cool down, and that would allow us to manage them a little bit better. And if you use the same technique as I did with the peel on, this will also allow us to remove the peel much easier. Now to mash the potatoes to make the rellenos de papa, we're gonna first sprinkle a little bit of adobo. Then we're gonna mash them. Usually I just use a potato masher. I broke mine a few days ago, forgot to buy a new one. So we're gonna improvise. So I'm just breaking it down with this first, and then I'm gonna use a wooden spoon to smooth it out. And with the relleno de papa, we still want it to be a little bit lumpy. We don't want it to be completely smooth, because then it's not gonna be as easy to mold around when we're making the balls. So now we're gonna shape the rellenos. I like to use a ice cream scoop, but if not, you can just make the ball with your hand. I like to use a little spoon, so you're gonna carve out a little hole so you can put the meat. And then with your hand, you're gonna start covering it. And again, really important, you don't want any of the pieces of meat to escape, so make sure it is covered well. And now we are gonna let go of the scoop, and then we're gonna mold the ball, even it out a little bit, and then dust it with a little bit of cornstarch. Now we're gonna get ready to fry the relleno de papa. We have to make sure that the oil is really, really hot. And this is how we make relleno de papa at Casa Dining Traveler. If you have any questions or feedback, please share it in the comments. Again, a big thank you to the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture in Chicago. Make sure you guys check out their programming in the description. And now for my favorite part, I must taste it. Delicioso. Bye.